Big Buffalo, Big Mafia. Are you ready? Ooh, the mic up, mic check 1 2. What you say? Not tech high, but what's going on, man? We in the basement, man. It's Val.
And it is Zyrus. What's going on, people?
Shit. Damn, started out just cursing.
Off rip.
Yeah, sorry guys. But anyways, man, we are back, man. It is officially we got through week 1.5 of training camp. We are now officially going into not only the closing of training camp, but we're going into the first preseason game. So for those who have been rocking with us now for 3 seasons since we've been recording, y'all know this is the best time of the year for us, man. It's bowl prediction time. It's, man, who's going to do what time? What do we see coming? What are some things to look for? Because the practice stuff is cool. As we joked around a couple weeks ago and said, practice, AI, practice. We're talking about practice. We don't got to talk about practice for much longer. We can talk about real football, 4 quarters. So before we get into the preseason game, Z, how you doing? And, how you been feeling about this last week or so of practice?
Live and well, first of all. On the practice tip, I mean, it's just, again, I'm just excited to have football. Like, I don't want to say I don't care what practice looks like, because I do.
Yeah.
But this time of year, I'm just like, I'm just happy that it's ramping up. It was nice to get out to the blue and red practice just to kind of see it in person.
Facts.
So, just seeing them out there, the boys out there practicing, ripping and running, it was definitely good to see. So I'm happy that, some players are starting to step up a little bit.
Yeah. Anybody pop for you at the red and blue scrimmage, man?
I think it was more just the defensive play in general.
Being physical.
Yeah, they just came and was there.
Yeah,
like just in your face. Like the offense just was never clicking, but I think a lot of that was due to the energy, because you can tell right off rip the defense had a different level of intensity. Yeah, and I mean you get interceptions, I felt like it was a million bad balls at the line.
For
like
sure.
The defense just came ready to play or ready to practice in this case.
Right.
So just seeing him out there, seeing Ray Davis break off a couple little runs,
Ray.
Cook break off a couple little runs, so it was nice to see. Yeah.
Nah, I agree, man. The physicality, I would say, from the defense stood out. But it's practice.
Right.
We know they can't really hit each other.
Yeah, but a little thug.
But there was some stuff in there. Taron Johnson being physical.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see Deion Jones, one of our backup veterans who we talked about over the last couple weeks. Good to see him get his hands on the ball. Kyer Elam, once again.
Continuing
to get hands on the ball. From the offensive standpoint, I think you said it like you said, Ray Davis. I think the tight end stood out to me that we'll get into later, Zach Davison. He's going to push for a spot. Definitely practice squad, but I'm talking number 3 tight end. There's a serious case he's making to battle with Quentin Morris, who Quentin Morris has done a great job, I think, over the last couple years of just
doing what he's supposed to
do. The dirty work,
catching passes when he's out there, but just really making his value on special teams.
Yeah,
at a good level.
So shout out to Q for really being a hidden gem the last couple of years, much like Reggie Gilliam, even though they play 2 different positions. But Zach Davison is so this guy can be used though. We talking red zone threat. Just his size to go along with the size that we already got, I think pops off when you see him in person and just when you see the highlights. But we were both there. Little precipitation, but guys, we in Western New York. I think we pretty much can assume that every other home game is going to be something.
It could have been a tornado.
It could have been a tornado, man, and we want to definitely give a thinking of the people who might have had some very severe damage done to their property over the last week, because for those who don't live in Western New York, Buffalo area, we did experience a tornado.
Other than that, there's a lot of flooding too, which I think
caused a lot
more damage than a tornado.
So shout out to my homeowners, the ones who, the landlords that got to go through all of the things they got to go through. I know you know more than anything because you're in the business, but I was telling them at work, I'm I couldn't imagine just getting out of work, you thinking everything fine, you done had your phone away for maybe 2-3 hours. Next thing you know, you're looking at your phone wait a minute.
My street flooded?
Or wait, that tree is literally in my driveway. So for those who are going through that, thinking of you and hoping that you get through this difficult time, because nobody likes emergency, especially when it's not something that you can control. Like, nobody can control a natural disaster.
Right.
I didn't even know there was a tornado warning up until.
Because there wasn't.
Yeah, it was like severe thunderstorms. I think I might have seen something.
It was like all of a sudden, tornado just touched. Like, what you mean?
Like, dog, can we get a real, excuse me, heads up? You know what I mean? And that's why I try to take look at my weather app more, because you know what we do, especially me, and we going off subject for a second, but like in the summertime, I take for granted not looking at the weather app. I'm just like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
It's gonna be 75.
It's gonna be 75. It's gonna be 80. It's gonna be 85. Maybe we get some rain. But just recently, I started getting back to looking at it, because I'm like, we gotta get ready for like the weird weather. You know what I mean? The thunderstorms when it's all sun out, and especially for those we're trying to keep up, maintaining the yard and all of that before the cold weather really comes. Because I took a peek at my backyard just a little while. I'm like,
yeah, I'm feeling.
I gotta get back there, because before we know it, it's gonna be too cold. The snow already on the ground, so definitely got to do my thing back there soon. But anyways, back to the football stuff, man. First preseason game around the corner, but as they wrap up in St. John Fisher, training camp.
It's actually a wrap at St. John Fisher.
They're wrap at St. John Fisher as we record.
So fast already.
Who do you want to give any awards to from what you've heard over the last couple of weeks, man? Who's your biggest surprise that you've gotten from the first couple of weeks of training camp?
I'd probably say it's a tie, but I think it would have to be between Kyer Elam and Damar Hamlin.
Okay.
Because those are two have legitimately been making plays all spring and all summer. And I don't know if Kyer Elam is a surprise per se, because, it is a first-round pick, first-round talent. The skill set has always been there. It just hasn't been consistently put it together. So him showing out is not necessarily a surprise, but seeing Damar Hamlin consistently making plays and being where he's supposed to be and being responsible at that safety position is probably a little bit more of a shock, in my opinion. Again, he does have a lot of experience in his defense. Right. I mean, 15 games starting under his belt. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at, but it wasn't expected to have him in this position. We signed Mike Edwards. We gave Rapp an extension. We draft Cole Bishop. So, you thought Hamlin is just depth at best.
Yeah, for sure.
But for him now to be getting starting reps, depth chart comes out, he's listed as a starter.
Because if you remember, people were like, nah, he ain't going to make it this year because that charity case shit is over. That Make-A-Wish. Right. We just doing it because of what happened.
They said the clone can't even play football.
Right. So, like, to see, like, what you said, it'd be a real thing where he's officially listed as a starter on the depth chart. And we know injuries obviously playing a part in this.
Big part.
Because even Keon right now is showing that he's not starting, but we know they like to put rookies a step back normally initially. I think maybe the only one I could think of in the last 6 years was like Trey White and Deion Dawkins.
Yeah, Science Torrance
last year just started where they were on the depth chart. But we know come start of the season, I'm expecting to see Keon start. Expecting to see what other rookie I'm expecting to see start?
Yeah, I think Gray Davis is not going to be starting, but he's going
to have that second spot.
He's going to be on the field.
He's going to be that back and running back. But, I'll let you continue that thought on Damar Hamlin. Anything else you want to add with that?
I mean, that's pretty much it. But I think those two will probably be the ones that have stand out the most. Just based on what they've been doing. Like, Kyer Elam legit making plays, getting first-team reps consistently. So now I'm like, all right, so we went from having two corners that we feel pretty good about. Because, I mean, I already feel great about Rasul. Yeah. I feel very close to great about Benford.
Feel very good about him.
Now I'm like, okay, if Elam can make that jump too.
He's like the playmaker.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so he's gonna force some way on the field.
Right.
So like I can't, if I'm playing at this level and I can continue to play in the preseason, y'all can't just put me on the bench and leave me there.
Yeah. He's almost, if you look at the three of them, he's kind of their most athletic corner.
I don't want to say by far, but by far.
Right.
He's their most athletic person in the secondary.
So I think when it comes to mismatches, what they will be able to do now is like, hey, we can take it case by case. If we're playing Miami and we need up-in-your-face coverage, I know I can put Elam on there and he can pretty much go bar for bar, within range with a lot of those wide receivers over there. Same thing when you are playing a longer wide receiver. You have Elam and Douglas both with their long arms and their width. Like, I expect to see them use Elam smart in aggressive ways, but also just based on what they see on the field. And I think that's a cheat code to have your number 3 corner. We're not talking slot, because normally when you look at a team, you say number 3 corner, we're talking a slot guy. We're talking Taron Johnson. We're talking Budda Baker, and we're talking Marlon Humphrey and those guys who just play the slot. Their number 3 corner right now is another outside guy who can lock down and make you think. Because right now, I don't know if the league knows, but I think he's starting to develop kind of the reputation where if you go over there, he's going to be right on that man, and you might be taking a chance because he got good ball skills.
Yeah, I think he right now where he's at in his career. I mean, I think he's the definition of boom or bust, and which we actually see a lot of in this league. I mean, you look at Dallas cornerbacks as a whole, Trayvon Diggs, other cat I can't even think of his name.
Bland.
Yeah, who again both
had
players
a big year.
Come up with a ton of picks, but can also be beat. And I feel like that's what
Gardner
we've seen
Johnson is almost in that category.
I agree with that too. And that's kind of what we've seen out of Elam. Like, he'll make some plays where he gets beat. Like, Calvin Ridley was torching him all day. But then playoff games, interception. Playoff games, interception.
He got that.
Patrick Mahomes, interception.
Yeah, if you keep picking on me, I'm going to make it work. Because like I said, that Pittsburgh game was a great example because he got picked on.
Back-to-back plays.
Back-to-back plays. And then by the third time they went to him, interception.
Yeah, run it back. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Mine. Thank you.
And that's the type of cornerback ability we're used to in Buffalo, because we've talked about it before in the pod. Like
the legacy of cornerback
in Buffalo Bills history especially over the last, I'll say 25 years is crazy. You know, I grew up, and I know we the same age basically, it was Antoine Whitfield and Nate Clements, right? And then that got followed by Terrence McGee, and that got followed by fucking who was after Terrence McGee?
Greer.
Oh yeah, Jabari Greer and those guys. So like
nonstop. There's always somebody.
There's always a good DB. Like even if it wasn't a corner, Jarris Bird came in and got 9 interceptions in his rookie year.
Right, off rip.
You know what I mean? So just so many great defensive backs we've seen, and we know what happened in 2017 when obviously we got Tre'Davious White, we got Jordan Poyer, we got Micah Hyde to come to this team. So secondary has always been a strength of the Bills, and it's not even a McDermott thing, but I think now that McDermott has his hands in it, Babbage, and also the DB coach, his name slips my mind right now, who already had a relationship with Elam. I think that goes a long way.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll say my 2 quick surprises were, I talked about him already, with Zach Davidson, because I knew the name and I kind of remember he was around the team.
Yeah, he was injured all last year.
I would say him and Shavers. I think Shavers was one of those guys that we knew had an outside chance of, like, you know what I mean, practice squad, of course, but like he got an outside chance, but like when you hear McDermott talk about him, when you hear Josh Allen talk about him,
it's almost like they gushing over that, man.
Yeah, it almost makes you say, uh-oh. So this is a guy that's been in the building the last 2.5, 3 years. They've seen his development, and now it looks like those guys on that side of the bar are like, we think we got something over here in Shavers. And we saw him pop in preseason last year. I remember him and I think it was Thompson. They had their fair share of plays against the Colts maybe last year, but like, we saw some flashes, and now I think between this preseason and then going into the last few practices that they have going into the season, it's a great chance for him. And we'll talk about the other veterans here in a few, but it's a great chance for him to steal one of those spots because I even heard McDermott bring up, hey, he's even been showing progress in special teams.
Right.
And we know how much they love, hey.
And that's a pedigree he had in college. I mean, I think he had, I think they said 6 block kicks or block punts.
Oh, for real?
In his
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I mean, that hits me. He's 6'6". So I mean, you come with athleticism and the size, you can. Well, I think he's really like 6'4". They had a list of that 6'4".
Yeah, about 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, 6'4". Either way, good length either way.
Right.
So I mean, you come up with a special teams pedigree from college. You are making plays when given the opportunities with the first team and second team.
Right.
You're showing your value because if you're looking at the back end of the receiver room, you have more value as a fifth receiver than Chase Claypool, than a
lot of those guys,
Justin Shorter
or MVS sliding down to the 5'6".
That's because you provide value outside of just receiving.
So I like him. I like him making a team, man. And also, like I said, Zach Davidson. I already talked about him a little bit.
I think
that's sneaky.
What is going to be really interesting to see is what they do with the numbers.
Yeah,
because last year they only kept 5 receivers.
Right.
So, I mean, are they going to stick with that, or are they going to go with 6?
I think they should personally go with 6. I'm not about to say,
but
I think you got to.
If they go with 6, I don't see them picking for a tight end.
Oh no, it's going 3, so somebody's going to be the odd man out.
Right. So it's because you go heavy over here, it got to go light somewhere
we gotta
else.
go. Yeah.
And what we don't know, which is the ultimate wild card, is how the Bills see the kickoff.
How they see that, and you know, one other thing I'll add to that is how many running backs do they keep?
Right, are they?
Because we've seen them keep 4.
Yeah.
We've seen them keep 5. If you want to include Gilliam.
Yeah, Gilliam has to go somewhere.
Right. So like, do they just keep 3? Right.
Or do they keep 4 tight ends and say no Gilliam?
Right.
Which I think could be.
It could be, but I think Gilliam is probably more of a lock than Quentin Morris. If you had to ask me, that's going to be maybe a battle that they have to think about: is do we keep Gilliam for our run game? Or do we keep Quentin Morris as the fullback / tight end?
Yeah. See, I don't know, because I mean, I think that's a conversation that's going to be had because Quentin Morris has still had a solid offseason, just like anybody else.
Exactly.
And he's been making plays just like that.
But we know how much they value Gilliam too.
Right. And I think he also he offers more from a traditional tight end standpoint than Davison does. So, and with Kincaid being, I would say, non-traditional when it comes to the blocking aspect. That's not the strong suit. Are you going to only have Knox as your only true blocking tight end?
Right.
So are you going to have 2 receiving tight ends and just Knox, and who has had injury issues over the last few years? So, you know, that's why I kind of feel like Quentin Moore still has a leg up because he gives you that blocking ability that some of the other tight ends don't do.
It's going to be interesting.
So, I mean,
I think preseason is going to really solve it all.
Those games are going to make or break these decisions.
Yeah, man. You get 3 games, and I like the fact that it's now 3 instead of 4. I mean,
that 4
think
was overkill.
4 was always like,
it's a drag.
We need the 4th preseason game because remember, 4th preseason game nobody ever really played.
It's all 3rd and 4th.
You had maybe 2 spots people was fighting for in that 4th game, so I'm so glad they've kind of knocked that out, and obviously Labor Day follows, and then we're ready to rock and roll. But yeah, so the Zach Davison point, I do believe it's going to be between those 3 players, though. I think Zach Davison, Quentin Morris, and Reggie Gilliam. And it's not to say that obviously there's a bunch of teams out there that don't even have a fullback on the roster. So
right, I mean, it's a position. I wouldn't call it a luxury, but it's a position that is no longer just locked in that every team has to have one. But again,
doing it.
They have some athletic tight ends that can probably hop in at fullback at a pinch, or even some of these athletic ass linemen that could hop. I mean, Conor McGovern was playing fullback sometimes for that. Not that they would take him from the center and throw him at fullback, but just as an example of a lineman dropping back and doing fullback. So I mean, I think there's a lot of different options they can go in, and you know, I kind of wanted to ask you like what position battles are interesting you the most? I know we kind of just talked about receiver and tight end. Is those 2 are the ones that you're kind of eyeing the most when it comes to the battle itself?
Yeah, I think the back end of the wide receiver competition is definitely.
Yeah, I think your 4 is locked.
I think if we put them in order, and it's no particular order actually: Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, and MVS. Oh, you say okay?
Yeah, I think those 4 are locked.
Okay, all right.
I don't think MVS right now.
I think you might be right on that because even if you look at the unofficial depth chart. Technically, Mac Hollins is ahead of MVS because they got him starting right now. So I would tend to agree, even though I want to see more from Mac Hollins from preseason because I'm just like, I hear all the unique things that they talk about. Great for the locker room. I've seen him make some good catches, but it's like, for me, when you say lock, I need to see something on the football field, too, that make me say, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but also his special team ability, too.
I know.
I mean, he played special team all through college, played special teams, been special team captain all through his career, essentially. Like, this is the type of player that is, when you say Bill's DNA, this is almost the definition of that.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like.
So, therefore, I'll give you that.
I'll
give you that. I'll say between Hollins and MVS, I feel like they both have.
They got the leg up.
85% chance of making the team. Yeah. And like you said, Hollins, probably just for the small things that you said, probably closer to 100%. MVS, I'll keep him in that 80 range.
Yeah, and Hollins, I think he's one of the few people in that room that really provides that veteran leadership in there.
Yeah, I mean, and he's been through, for about 3 or 4 teams. He's played in different atmospheres. He's made clutch catches in his career when he needed to. I remember one with Fitzpatrick one time. With time winding down and he gets hit out of bounds and like 2 people hit him. Like I think that was the throw in the game where I think Fitz face mask got twisted.
What team was this?
Miami. Somebody coming at Fitz and they basically grabbed his face mask,
ripped his neck off,
and his face mask like this, and he threw it up the field like 30 yards, and Hollins came down with it, and I think it was against the Raiders or something. But I remember watching that highlight not too long ago, and I'm like, oh shit, he threw that to Hollins. Needless to say, and somebody's cutting grass in the background, so maybe it might be my yard because we do pay for that type of shit. But anyways, so yeah, Mac Hollins, MVS, I think that's 80%. The key to me, and this is where it gets so confusing to me in my brain, KJ Hamler, Shavers, not so much Shorter. I think we can probably say Shorter's on the outside looking in.
Probably practice squad.
But yeah, those three right there, MVS, Shavers, and KJ Hamler, to me, are your 5 and 6s that got to duke it out.
Right now, I mean, with Hamler being listed as a starter,
as a primary punt returner and a kick returner,
right? Yep. So that has to. That's not only a 53 spot. That's a game day jersey,
right? Yep.
So is he the 5th? Is he the 6th? What does that look like?
That's what I'm saying. And then like I said, we got Shavers balling. So is the competition really Shavers versus MVS?
I honestly don't know. I think MVS is going to have to make plays in order to. I don't think his spot is locked.
I know. And
I think the runway is there for him. Yeah. Obviously,
and he's been balling.
He's going to have to actually do it.
Yeah, he's been balling the last few practices.
I definitely last few days he definitely come on.
Yep. I definitely wanted to bring that up before we talk about the preseason game. Is like the fact that they are buying into them getting connected more. I even think MVS is making more of an effort because first week or so, I think he was like obviously trying to get in a groove with him. Like he's never ever in his life played with Josh Allen. Right. He wasn't there for the June practices, so like he's now just trying to find that chemistry now. Where Shavers already got chemistry with Allen. Mac Hollins was able to develop it in the spring. Keon was able to develop some type of chemistry in the spring. Same thing with Curtis. MVS is like shit. I'm just trying to fit in where I can, but also show enough so that the coaches know like, yo, nah, y'all still need me. I know y'all got a lot of good young dudes out here, but I'm still valuable. So I think MVS right now probably even knows I got to be on my A game. And it's probably the first time in his career he's felt like that in a while because in Green Bay, he was a certified top 3 receiver. When he went to Kansas City, they basically made him a top 4 wide receiver and was like, you're going to get a jersey, so don't worry about it. This might be the first time in his career where it's like, nah, you got to fight. Right. We're not just handing you the jersey because we got some hungry dogs. Like I said, Shavers is hungry. I know Shorter would love to get in there, but I haven't heard enough from Shaver. I mean, from what's his name?
Shorter.
Excuse me, Shorter. Yep. And then we know KJ Hammer, like you said, but between special teams and just being that backup slot. Because right now, who's the backup slot? They got him listed, and then after that is Andy Isabella. So it's like, it's another reason why you could say, well, KJ.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Hamler. He is the only receiver of that type in this whole receiving room. I mean, I guess Isabella could, but Hamler really is the only one of his type in this whole, out of all 11, 12 receivers out of there. 70, like he's the only one of that. So
that's why I think he also has a, and if we had to put percentages around it, that's why I think he about 70% locked too, because
I think a little higher than 50-50 right now.
Right, because if you look at it, like, that roster is really pretty much all 6 feet and above. I mean, Khalil might be about hitting that 5'11", 5'10" mark, but like, it's a big receiver room.
Yeah.
So KJ is definitely, if I put everybody out on the field,
you know who Hamler is. If you put everybody out there with no jerseys, no nothing, you know, oh, that's Hamler.
Right. But what that can also be a benefit if you
100%.
Brady, because if I spread out 4 wide and I got Keon, Curtis, I got Kincaid in one area, and I got Mac Hollins over there, and then I sprinkle in a KJ Hamler, and let's say we go no running backs. Let's say 5 wide receivers, and we go no running backs. You probably want to keep an eye on KJ Hamler, because you got to think, if he's only on the field for, let's say, 5 plays a game, you got to think one of those 5 plays, he getting the ball.
Right, he out there.
He getting it right. Why is Lil Man out there? Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
somebody watch Lil Homie.
Get this dude, because he keep running back and forth, and now we doing that, and we playing smart offense. Now, if he's running back and forth, we got to be thinking, okay, he in motion for a reason. Oh, Josh is spotting now. Guy following him. All right, we playing man. Cool. So we going to go with this. Audible. Boom, 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 boom. Doo-doo. Out to you. 9 yards, 15 yards. So I think he gives them some flexibility in a nutshell that they just don't have because, like you said, outside of Andy Isabella, where's that scat wide receiver who can put their foot down and go up the field for 25, 30 yards. You know what I mean? They got the bigger receivers that can do that. We know Curtis, you know, all-around wide receiver, he can get up the field and he can make people miss. Same thing with Khalil Shakir, but having a guy like Hamler, I feel like it's just a nice little. He's an upgrade over. I mean, realistically, and I hate that we always got to compare every small wide receiver to McKenzie, but he's like a light upgrade over McKenzie. I mean, I think McKenzie had a little more muscle to him, just because he was like a little small, little whatever. But Hamler gives you some of that wiggle, and that wiggle where if I get a hole, I can hit it and be gone.
Yeah. I mean, he's still second round talent though.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Who
used to be very dynamic, right? Like a healthy Hamler, especially when he was coming to the league, bro. That was 65 yards, pay dirt. You know what I mean? And I know Josh Allen's like, dude, I could use that.
100%.
Yeah, you're gonna give me some explosiveness, and that's why. You know, we'll get to this in a second here. That's why the whole Diggs comment, I think that was warranted, because it was like, yo, bro, if you want me to say I miss him, that'd be disrespectful.
I miss you.
Yeah.
I know.
Nah, I know.
So that would be disrespectful to my receiving room now.
So what
like,
transition?
I miss Diggs.
Right.
Now you say, then the narrative would be, Diggs or Allen shitted on his receivers.
Yes.
He don't trust what's in the room. He missed Diggs. He think they better without him, or he better with him around. And all he said was, I wouldn't say miss. I mean, he was great while he was here. He was really productive, really consistent for us. So, like, he ain't shit on him. They just took part of that quote and said, I don't miss him.
Oh, yeah, it's easy. It's easy. It's media.
They ain't say,
So, for those who not caught up with the situation, essentially what happened was the other day, I believe it was Wednesday afternoon, a reporter asked Josh Allen, is he going to miss Stephon Diggs? And it might have been not that way word for word, but he basically put Josh Allen on the spot, and Allen, responded like a true professional. Said, hey, man, I mean, what he say? I wouldn't say miss, but definitely going to miss his production on the field, just what he brought to our offense, and et cetera, et cetera. Great. He brought the juice and all of those good terms that he used. But like Z just said, man, the biggest thing that he didn't want to do was make his own wide receivers feel like, God damn, really? You miss him that bad? What about us?
Why you talking about your ex?
We good. Yeah, don't be talking about your ex. We here now. You got a new girlfriend now. Girlfriends or whatever you want to call it. So I thought he handled it well. Did I know that they were going to run with it? Of course. Because anytime you stop them and say, when they say miss, okay, there we go. They got the 4 words that they wanted. But you got to be a true professional, and a true leader is just going to be like, hey, listen, I'm focused on this. And that's what I try to tell people when it comes from being in my position that I've been in the last decade. Is like, you can't focus on what happened before. You can learn from what happened before. Right. You can grow from what happened before, but you can't keep turning around. That's why I hate when people ask numerous questions about the past, because it's like, I can't keep dwelling on that. Right. Yeah, I mean, he good. He in a happy place. I'm in a good spot. I get a chance to grow now as a leader. If I'm Josh Allen, I'm saying I get a chance to, like, even take my game up a notch. Like, I've been quote-unquote elite now for the last 4 years. Cool. What has elite got me? No Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. So, like, if I'm Josh, this is a nice challenge for myself to be like, I can do this shit myself. We saw Kobe do it. I always go back to the Mamba mentality. Kobe, Shaq. They went 2 different ways, right? So people say, well, is Kobe going to be able to do it by himself? And Kobe struggled with that at first. I mean, he was averaging 40. Right. But, like, he was having to carry the whole team on his back. And then they gave him, Lamar Odom, right? Paul Gasol. Shout out to the homies and some other guys. I know Steve Nash and Dwight Howard thing ain't work, but like
sure didn't.
More so the other veterans that they added. That shit was crazy. But now Kobe was on a mission to prove that he could do it without his sidekick. And I think Josh Allen's gonna take the same mentality. It's like, listen, man, I'm here to win football games for the Buffalo Bills.
Tell me how my ass tastes.
Yeah. Huh? What was that from?
Shaq. You ain't seen that, man? No. You ain't never seen that? Oh, come on, man. Now you got me looking crazy because now you made
right? Like, wow. Yo. But I think Josh handled it well, though. For those who didn't catch the snippet, you can watch it on YouTube. And you can probably go to any media outlet and just type in Josh Allen and Diggs.
Yeah,
but
listen, again, I like you, man. Ain't no one dwelling on the past. What's done is done. Diggs over there in Houston, smiling, showing his teeth, and being happy. Yeah. So good for him. I hope he ball out when he play.
Yeah.
But we over here, we good over here.
Except for when we play. That's right, all. Because that game is, that's going. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even though they're not trying to hype that game up into being something, it's still a 1 p.m. game.
Right.
And it's still going to be a lot of Buffalonians out there.
100%.
Shout out to those getting out there. I know I will be. And that should be a good time. I know I said I'm due for vacation, so definitely looking forward to that. But that's going to be the way CJ, man, That's gonna be a game. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be, mark your calendar, get your popcorn. It might be 28-31. Like,
strap your helmet on. Good.
Oh please, because boys gonna
That's
be
gonna
physical.
be a
Because
physical
D'Amico
game.
Ryans, I gave him credit last year, and I don't think a lot of people did. But
A
like,
scrappy team,
bro, them boys gonna punch you in the mouth. And then they added Ward on that side too, because I know he started to fight.
See, the thing
about a week
is,
ago.
like, I don't think the Bills are getting credit in one area. Yes, we lost a lot of players, a lot of veteran leadership, the cores of the team. I hear that, but you got young boys and new players that got out here to prove themselves.
Facts. To
prove like, yo, we still them guys, even though we don't have Trey and we don't have Poyer and Hyde and all these folks, bro. We still here.
Yeah.
So like, it's gonna be a lot of Bills out here trying to prove themselves and prove to this country and the media landscape in general. Like, yo, no, we good.
My name is Kyrie Elam.
Right.
And I'm nice.
Yeah, like,
my name is Christian Bifford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, it's a team in transition, but they out here to prove people wrong.
And I gotta add too, man, a lot of them been disrespected this summer. Not from the national media standpoint, but like if you pay attention to like the small things like the top 100, which is voted on by the players, or if you pay attention to like Madden ratings, even though ratings don't mean much of nothing.
74 for Benford or for fucking Bernard.
Disrespected Bernard, disrespected. I thought it was
Oliver.
I thought it was Ed Oliver was low. Kincaid and Knox. I think Knox might have been on there ahead of Kincaid, but like just the way some of these players and some of the people out there think of the players on this team is like, are we watching the same football?
Not.
Because Bernard is definitely in my top 10 in linebackers at his position.
He put up better numbers than
every Smith. Damn near. Yeah, like he filled the stat sheet. Right. Every game he played was in like
every category.
Right, and this was a guy who
tackles,
double-digit tackles,
fumble recoveries,
right,
forced fumbles, like all of that,
and did 80% of this without Matt Milano.
Right.
So like Bernard, I expect his game to go up another notch now that people won't get a chance to really pay attention to him, because I feel like the same thing that happened to Milano 4 years ago is happening to Bernard, which is like, oh, okay, we see that guy out there. What's his name? 43, 58.
Okay. He good.
Okay, he good, whatever.
We don't know his name, though.
Right. Now they're going to have to pay attention, because when they see how them two play off each other, and I mentioned it, I think, a couple weeks ago, was like, if you watched the few games that they did play, you was like, oh, who was that? Oh, that was Bernard made the play? Okay. The next thing, oh, shit, Milano right there. Boom. Like, them two guys on the field together, and I know Milano is going to be a game by game, a snap by snap type of thing for him, but like, I'm excited to see what they look like side by side, because they both got a nose for the ball. And like, when you draft a linebacker, when you put a linebacker in your room, you want to have linebackers who just find the football, whether it's for a loss, whether it's for no gain, whether it's a fumble, whether it's an interception, a tip ball, whether it's a blitz on a sack. Like, both of those guys are good in all of those categories. So it's like, you giving me two?
Right. Two matchup linebackers.
And they only about 4 years apart. So
and like, more depth at D tackle.
Man, stop playing.
So if we have more consistent line play up front, and it's actually free them up more.
That's what I'm really hoping Dwayne Carter pans out. Yeah, if Dwayne Carter pans out, and I know we switching positions, but talking about up the middle, I know we'll be good with Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver, but if we can get that second tier group, the
Carter and Johnson and
I think Williams is there, whoever wins that battle too, because I don't feel like they're gonna keep 5 D tackles. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Austin Johnson and Williams is fighting for the damn near same position.
Yeah, because I mean, as a 3rd round pick, Carter ain't going nowhere.
Carter not going nowhere. So I think Williams and Johnson fighting for that other D tackle spot, because I feel like what they get from their ends, they like, oh, we can.
Yeah, man. I think Johnson.
They can move in.
I think Johnson is a lock. I mean, when Jones,
because he got that flexibility.
Vet rest days and stuff. It was Johnson getting all reps.
And then on the end, we know Smoot gonna be a lock just because his
the top 4 is locked in.
Yeah, the top 4.
It's gonna be a hell of a battle for that 5th spot.
Yeah, because you got Solomon there. You got what's the other dude?
Kingsley Jonathan. You got Hill, which I think has a super uphill battle.
He does right
now. But Cameron Klein is always made
plays
always
going to be around
when he gets the opportunity. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, Kingsley Jonathan been primed for this spot for a long time now.
That's sad, because it's like Solomon started making plays recently.
Yeah, but it's but Solomon has a skill set that none of those other linemen, other than like Von Miller, has. Just from a pure pass rush, bend the edge, turn the corner, go get the quarterback skill set. So and a draft pick. So it kind of gives you a
I would say
edge.
So one would say that's probably one of the spots to really eye in on for this game. Because I think as we transition into talking about what's going on, because we don't want to hold y'all too long. Probably got a good 10, 15 minutes with y'all. So we talk about this game coming up with Chicago. The defensive end spot, we'll just go off rip and just say that's definitely one.
Oh, yeah. I'm watching that.
Yeah. That second half.
I don't expect to see Rousseau or Epinesa.
And before we forget, because we'll wait till this is over, we're going to cheers to it being the first game of the year, first of many.
First of what? We got 8. I can't do math. It's
17
games,
we got 17
games, baby.
First of 20, man. Shout out to our other Bills fans.
We still got playoffs on top of that.
Roll to the Super Bowl, baby. Starts here. But anyway, Deuce. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was at first.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? But I think that fifth defensive end is going to be something to key in on, because like you said, between Tuhill, Kingsley Jonathan, and then Solomon, they all have a case. Yeah. Solomon being a draft pick, Tuhill being a veteran who just had 5 sacks last year, I believe. Yeah. Kingsley, like you said,
he's been in this system for years. Yeah, he's been in this, and every time he's on the field, though, he does.
Yeah, he's gonna get after it.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of sack production, but he
gonna get.
You
after
see
it.
him.
Yeah,
he's making people miss. He's getting around the edge. So like he is a player that I think just needs an opportunity.
Yeah,
but shit, at this point, is that opportunity here, which we don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. But what else?
They're not keeping 6.
Nah,
they can't keep 6.
Like I said, the only way they keep 6, because they've kept 10 defensive linemen before, is if they really go 4 D tackles, 6 D ends, but cut off a linebacker. Like go only 5 linebackers.
But they heavy at linebacker already.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's so like even when we're talking about the receiving tight end numbers, some gonna have to give somewhere.
Yeah,
because
you think linebacker we got Milano Bernard, Dorian Williams.
That's your 3, which I locked.
Right.
I think Deion Jones is probably.
I think he is too. Lock. Morrow is probably right there with the draft pick. Yeah. Probably battling for that maybe that last spot.
You still got Balin Spector.
Still got Balin.
I didn't even say Olafaccio.
That's what I'm trying to say. That guy.
I mean, I'm at 7.
You at like
deep,
7, so.
And I'm sure I'm still missing somebody. So it's like
it's gonna be a battle.
Ooh. But that's what I keep going back to, is what we don't know is how do the Bills view that kickoff? Are they seeing more of a heavy personnel? Are they seeing smaller, faster guys? Are they seeing there's a whole bunch of linebackers out there and DNs? Like we don't know what they're thinking. So, and I think that's gonna dictate stuff too. But we have nothing to reference.
We don't. We don't. And that's why I think it's a good test this weekend, because they're gonna play against a well-coached team this week, a team with a lot of upside.
Are they?
I would say so. I mean, they were good last year.
Matt Eberflus, I don't even know how he's still head coach, but you're probably right.
They had a good run last year. I think more so, I'm excited to see from Chicago, like what do they make this team look like with the veterans that they added.
Yeah, they got some studs on offense now. They got Swift at running back. They got.
I almost forgot about Swift, but I was more so thinking of receivers.
Yeah, DJ Moore. They got Keenan Allen. They got obviously the rookie Rome Odunze. So,
yeah, and they're good at tight end because you got Komet there.
Yeah,
you got I think Tommy Sweeney is backing him up or something like that.
He is. Or is he? Who played at the Hall of Fame game? Did Chicago play?
I think so, yeah. Okay, Chicago and Houston, so Tommy.
Yeah, he's on one of those teams.
Yeah, Tommy Sweeney. Yeah, shout out to Sweeney.
Tommy Sweeney.
Yeah, shout out to Sweeney.
Shout out to 8-9.
Yeah. So, yeah, they got a lot of interesting pieces. I know Caleb is going to get his first snap, so.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see. Anytime you can see the first overall pick.
That's why I said I'm there before 1 o'clock, because I don't want to. Like, sometimes we take our time getting in the stadium. It's preseason, whatever.
Yeah, got the...
I'm dragging. We got the RV.
Oh,
yeah, man. I got my first look at it this week, so...
How we looking?
The RV looking good, man. So, don't want to disclose too much information while we filming, but...
let's just say they got...
It's going to be a change.
They turned the tailgating scene up a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different. Longer walk, but a little different. We're going to have to go through the back. Yeah, it's going to have to be some... You know what I mean? Might have to steal his golf cart or something. You know what I mean? Be like, yo, Josh, get us over here. Let's get the Channel 4 golf cart. But for real, I'm definitely looking forward to that first quarter, that first half. I mean, second half, we know that's guys fighting for those final spots that we just discussed. But this is going to be an interesting first quarter, because that's all the starters might play. Yeah, I think McDermott made an announcement. Yeah, they're going to play a quarter. So that if you're a fan, that means that you need to get your butt in there for that first 35 minutes.
2 drives.
Yeah, get your butt in there
and if they score a touchdown, it's 1 drive.
Oh yeah. If they score a touchdown, first drive, they go down the field. You might as well.
Good night.
Hello, Miss Trubisky.
Yep.
But like
Money
I said,
Mitch.
it's going to be something to watch. That's why I still lock in the preseason. Some people don't understand why I do it every year is because I'm just like,
this
is where I get my info.
Roster.
Yeah, it's 90 people, but like so many times you get in the midst of the season and somebody be talking to you about something and they be like, how'd you know this person was paying attention? You know, when y'all take your eyes off the screen because y'all like, these monkeys don't matter. They may matter. They may matter in December, right. October. Like you need to know who your backups are.
Yeah, and there's a ton of when you have a team that's perennially good like the Bills have been for the last 5-6 years. The battle on the back ends of these rosters are legit because a lot of these players who aren't even making the team or borderline not making the team could start on other teams. Like, I'm not even exaggerating.
No,
like, you look at the number of players that have been claimed from the Bills over the last handful of years. You see that
happens every year.
These are a high level of players that they have. Like, the competition at O-line, which we haven't even talked about.
Oh, man.
Like, you got your first probably 6, maybe 7 locked in, but after that, you got 3 more spots, maybe even 2.
Yeah.
And you got 6, 7 people vying for those.
Yeah.
So, like, it's competition all over the board, which is a little bit different compared to the last few years. Because before, we kept running the roster back. We knew who was going to be there for the most part. But now, it's competition all. I mean, the only position that's really locked in stone would be a quarterback, cornerback, the starting safety.
Oh, you talking about like from
from a starting standpoint,
yeah,
like
starting linebackers.
I mean, when I say, we know most of the starters, but even like that next level of depth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a couple positions that we know what those top few positions look like, but the rest I think are completely up for grabs.
Yeah. And I think with the injuries to safety, it'll be interesting to see
how that's going to play out.
Listen, it might get ugly. I might say the first quarter just because, well, I take that back. I won't say the word ugly, but like Hamlin and Rapp will get good practice in the first quarter.
But they ain't going to play long.
They not. But I'm just saying, like,
that backup safety spot might look real.
It might get ugly in the second half. He got all of like 3 practices.
That's all I was saying. Right. Like, he's seen
same thing with Burgess,
but
Terrell, the other dude that they signed. You got Cam Lewis that'll get in there at safety.
But I don't even need Cam Lewis to get mad time. But somebody's got to.
The second half got to be right. Like,
so Cam Lewis gonna
get a lot of burn in the second half, unfortunately.
Somebody got to play.
The backup nickel, Daquan Hardy, he gonna get a lot of looks because I'm pretty sure Taron Johnson may only play 1 series.
Corey Couch,
like those guys, Jamarcus Ingram going to.
And speaking of Hardy, his development in preseason is going to dictate a ton.
Yeah,
because if he can show value on defense and at punt return, now that makes Hamler.
Because McDermott did mention that.
Yeah, that makes Hamler a little expendable.
Yeah.
So if Hardy can take or even get close to the level that Hamler is as a returner and show value on defense, that changes that receiver room too.
And I gotta add, that's why I want to see a lot of punt. That's why I want to see the defense.
I need a whole bunch of kickoff and punts.
Right.
So I just need scores. Yeah. Like, it sounds bad, but like I need scores because I need to see this happen.
Yeah, I definitely want to see the kickoff return happen. The punt return is going to be a big one for me because, like you said, that's a battle between 2 guys and nobody else. That's KJ Hamler and Daquan Hardy.
Yeah, because we have players who can, like...
Yeah, Micah Hyde will get back there.
Well, I mean, that's a reason.
I know.
But, like, I think Khalil Shakir can catch punts.
Right. If he has...
Samuel can catch punts. But those are players I don't necessarily want
Coleman
to do
in a pinch.
Right. And I don't want these players doing it. I want my returner to be my returner.
Yeah, Daquan Hardy and KJ Hamler. So... And you know what? To be honest with you, I think either one of them will be an upgrade over what we've had the last 4 years.
I miss Andre Roberts.
Yeah, Andre Roberts. He was the last one that we had that was
a
like
bona fide.
That was a bona fide Pro Bowl, All Pro returner. Yeah. So like, we've been missing that now for 3.5, 4 years. So the fact that this year we get 3 preseason games to watch these guys return and give us some flashes, because guess what? Preseason is a great time to rip one off. Because you got some rookies out there that's trying to make the team, so they trying
to... Now you got the whole new kickoff thing, which is, again, we don't know how that's playing out. So.
Yeah, so if I'm Hamler and I'm Hardy, I'm saying, man, let me get one back. Because if I run one back, I can damn near stamp myself as the official.
But the thing is, too, even at that kickoff going to be hella vanilla. No one's going to run what their real plan for the regular season is. So it's just going to be, all right, let me line up. All right, I'm going to run 5 yards back and block. We're just going to make it as basic as possible. So... you know, it's like I said, it's a complete wild card. But someone needs to step up and take that job, and I feel like that is the first domino. Because once that fall, I think the rest of the roster starts to kind of line itself up.
Wide receiver, DBs.
Yeah,
a lot of fun stuff to look forward to. Bold prediction, man. We always got to do one before any game. What do you see coming from who? Or you can pick the side of the football that you feel like you may get a surprise from. But what's your bold prediction for this Saturday?
All right, I am predicting at least 4 sacks from the Bills D-line.
Oh, I like it. Any starters getting a sack on Saturday?
I say a Greg Rousseau sack.
A Greg Rousseau sack. I like it. I think the last time we played Chicago in his rookie year, he had like 2 sacks.
I remember that. No,
you remember that?
Shit.
In Chicago,
linebacker. They smacked the fuck out of Justin Fields. They got that penalty though.
Yep.
It was a linebacker though.
It was somebody.
Fuck out of that dude.
Yeah, but Greg Rousseau came out the woods.
I don't know who that was. That might have been Jonathan. I don't know.
That might have been the year. Was I married that year?
That was Justin Fields' rookie year. That don't help though.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to think whether I was on my honeymoon or something when that happened. I just remember I believe I was out of town when it happened, but I just remember being in the airport and it was just like, oh shit. Yeah, did you see that thing? Yeah, it was a smack. So your bold prediction is 4 sacks from the defense. I'm gonna go with what's a good
just because it's preseason.
I know.
Them lines they not ready for they first real live contact too. And you got some hungry DNs over there.
Right. I'm trying to think of a good one though, because you get the basic predictions, but when I say bold, I want to be bold. I'll say, this is tough. I want to, you know what? I'll go weird here, and he may not get too much time, but I'll say the defensive starters get an interception on Caleb Williams, and it's going to be DeMar Hamlin.
Hey.
So D-Ham solidifies himself as a top 3 safety on this team. Do I really think he's going to start? No. But I think he has a chance in preseason.
I mean, to be honest, if I had to come up with a depth chart right now, I'd probably say week 1 he is going to be the starter. You think so? I don't think he'll be the starter year end.
Yeah.
But I think to start the season, just from a consistency standpoint.
Like he knows the defense. Right.
Because again, what we don't have right now, I mean, they signed Edwards with the expectation that he's going to be the starter. Yeah. He didn't get any OTA practice time. He's only got 2 training camp practices in before he got hurt. So, like, he literally has not been on the field at all with this team. So, it's all mental reps, which is useful and beneficial. However, you need those live reps.
Yeah. Same thing with Cole Bishop.
Yeah, you're not. I don't think they're going to come into this season with Mike Edwards brand new into this defense with just a handful of practices. Unless he's if he's back next week, okay, maybe we can talk. But if he can't get into more than 1 preseason game and more than a solid 2-3 weeks of practice, I expect to see Rapp and Hamlin as the starters week 1. Just because again, this is someone who's 4 years in this defense. He knows it in and out. He has started already in this defense, so like if I had to go into week 1 and he's my starter, like I'm not losing sleep.
Yeah, no, I like that one. I'm not mad at that. Like I said, my prediction is that he'll make a play. An interception would be sweet for him, just being back in front of the home crowd. Nice. Back starting. I think this is his first time back officially starting with the Bills since he came back from his condition. And that would be big for him. I think it's a confidence boost. Anytime he can make a play in live football, I think he'll just continue to gain confidence. Because last year, you could tell. Last year, he was trying to get back.
That's a red shirt.
Yeah, that was like just trying to get back into the routine. Like, I think he was so excited just to even be out there with his brothers that like the nitty gritty of the football kind of was just like, that'll come.
Yeah, it's a lost year.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Getting back to exercising and running.
But like, if the coaches are seeing something that we're not seeing, and they feel like he's ready to, like you said, start week 1 and just be able to hold it down for a month until Cole Bishop is ready, until Mike Edwards is ready.
And the thing was, even before Bishop and Edwards got hurt, he was still rotating.
So, right.
And that's coming off because he had a good spring, so he earned those reps. So, you know, if come week 1, if they say he the starter, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Listen, they're gonna get tested because let me tell you something. One thing I know Chicago not gonna do. They're gonna let homeboy rip it.
Listen, bro, week 1 of preseason, first round quarterback, first round receiver.
He gonna get a chance to rip it.
We are 100% gonna see them drop back and let him show what he can do.
Go ahead, boy. Pick six.
So yeah, absolutely. The secondary is gonna get there ready.
Better be ready.
And like I said, I'm just excited to see this team in action. Ed Oliver is primed for a strong season, so I'm just looking forward to seeing that D line. I'm gonna see what Von Miller looks like. Again, I don't expect him to get more than a handful of snaps in the preseason.
If that,
just enough to bend the edge a couple times.
Yeah.
But again, just to see him out there looking like Ryan, I don't need to see a sack, but I just want to see how fluid you look.
Yep.
Is your bend back? Are you able to turn and cut that corner like you have always been?
That's just unique.
Because if he can turn that corner, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because he has a type of knowledge that most people would dream about.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not worried about anything else besides can he turn that corner and can he get that power back from his legs and his base. And if he can turn that edge and show he can get his power move back, then I'm not worried about nothing.
Yeah, 8 to 10 sacks. That's all I need from him this year. Just a couple big time plays. We talked about it last week, so that's really all I need for Von. But whether he plays or not this week, let's just hope that with each practice, each time he puts on that helmet, he's just getting better. Closing thoughts though, Z, man. Anything that you want to leave him with before we gear up and get ready for this game in a couple days?
Nothing crazy. I'm just excited to get week 1, get some football going, see this first team offense out there, first team defense, first look at some new players live.
Yes.
Because we got a whole lot of them. So first time out there. It's going to be great to see Matt Milano out there again.
Matty.
So excited to get him back out there.
Yeah, just good energy, man.
Because see Dalton Kincaid cook. Because I think he's primed.
Guess what, Cook? Hold on to the damn ball. That's all I'm going to ask you to do. Your ball security.
You too, Ray. Both
both of y'all.
Room in general. Hold
both of y'all, bro. Because y'all know McDermott don't play that.
Yeah.
McDermott will put you on the bench for the rest of the game. Belichick style. So that's one small thing I will add to what I'm looking for is ball security from the running backs because, guys, we can't, and the Tyler Bass situation too. So we could talk for days about what else we want to look for. But for the people that will go to the game, be there, be safe. We already know, man, this time of the year, we're heading into tailgate season. So whatever you do, be responsible and enjoy having to go to a 80-plus weather game at the stadium because, we only getting a couple more. And then once we roll into September, it's 75 on down to 10 degrees, down to negative 20 degrees. So enjoy the warm weather. If you got the kids, bring the kids out between this week and then the Kids Day game, I think, is on the 24th. It's a great time to at least show your kids what professional sports look like in person because we take for granted, that we live here in Buffalo and we have the Buffalo Bills and we have a top 5 football team with a top 3 quarterback and this and that. Let your kids enjoy this shit because it's one thing as us as an adults to enjoy it, but like if you got kids that live here, shucks, if my son lived here, I would probably take him to every game because it's just like it's an experience that you just can't duplicate. So definitely take advantage of this weekend. For those who can't make it,
it's on TV.
Enjoy it. NFL Network going to have live coverage. Caleb Williams, first game for Keon Coleman. No, we didn't even have a bold prediction for him, but guess what? Keon, just give me one. That's all I have. Give me one highlight. Got to be a touchdown. Give me one highlight real catch so I can be like, okay, yeah, the Keon experience.
Nice little drag route
little
across
something,
the middle.
Yeah, a little something because we got Roman Dunze on the other side. So
a little 8-yard catch that you take for
15.
15.
A little something. Maybe run somebody over. A little physicality.
Little burst, that's it. Nothing crazy. I don't need 5 for 50. Give me one catch to
2
show
for 40?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that. Just show me one little catch that, okay. I see you.
I see you, bro.
That's it. I just need a little one. I see your moment.
Yeah. So we look forward
to a little toe tap somewhere. I'm good.
We're looking forward to that with Keon. We already mentioned everybody else, Dalton Kincaid and the rest of the gang, man. Just hoping for a successful, and we ain't mentioned this, healthy. Come out the game healthy.
I don't care if we score 0 points in preseason.
Yep, are they healthy?
We come out completely healthy. I don't care about nothing else besides the health. For real,
come out the gate healthy, and we'll take it a day at a time after that. But listen, we enjoy getting back in the flow with y'all, man, week to week. Back with our weekly episodes. Sometimes we in the basement, sometimes we outside, sometimes we virtual, but we appreciate y'all for tuning in. I know this is coming out a day later than what we normally do, but guess what? We still got you. Like we said, we got you.
Sir.
And we still gonna keep it up week to week with y'all. So from your boy Val, my man over here.
It's Z. We will catch y'all next week.
Peace out, enjoy, and as always, baby, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bing bong.